Five green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are four green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Four green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are three green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Three green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are two green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Two green and speckled frogs sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is one green speckled frog. Glub, glub. One green and speckled frog sitting on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Hi friends, guess what we're going to talk about right now? Yep, that's right. We're going to talk about some frogs because there's a frog in Mrs. Mecker's book of the day. Now, have you guessed what I'm trying to pretend to be? Can you guess? Yep, I'm trying to pretend to be a frog. And here's my big eyes that the frogs have, and their long sticky tongues that goes out and gets all those bugs. And it sticks to their tongue, and then they reel it back in and eat them. And that's why I'm wearing this hat today, because I like my story today, because the story that I picked has something to do with frogs and Easter at the same time. And we just had Easter, didn't we? And let's see. Oh, wait. There's something in here besides a book. Yeah, let's see what it is. Oh, yep, there was something inside there. It's a little frog. He's right there. I'm going to put him down. But and now I'll have to grab the book. But, oh, there's another frog. How did he get in there? Goodness. Okay, enough is enough. Now let's get to the book. Where is that book? Got to be in here somewhere. What? Another one? Where do they keep coming from? All right, we're done with that. Come on, we got to get to the book today. Oh, yes, and here is the book. And it's called The Easter Ribbit. And look it is a frog, and what is he wearing? Oh my goodness, he does. He's got some bunny ears on. I think, what is he trying to do? Well, I'm trying to be a frog, but he's trying to be the Easter Ribbit. And you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna do something with my hat here, okay? Now just hang in there with me. Hold on. Because we're gonna make some changes to this hat. Let's see if I can do it. We'll see. What do I got here? Yeah, I got some tape right here. I'm gonna add something. Can you guess what I'm adding? Something to my frog hat. Oh, I need a big long piece right there. Okay, a big long piece. I'm gonna put that behind here too. And then I'm gonna put back on my hat here. I'm gonna draw from that, okay? So that you can see what I added. Are you ready? Here it comes. What did I add to my frog hat? I added some bunny ears, just like this frog has bunny ears. Isn't that silly? I'm a frog with bunny ears. That is awful silly. But we're going to read the Easter Ribbit. There he is. Let's see. Let's see what happens to him. Ready? Easter was coming. The bunnies were very busy making pretty Easter baskets, carrying jelly bellies, and painting eggs. Froggy watched them from the pond. Sometimes he wished he were a rabbit. They seemed to be having so much fun. Maybe he could convince Turtle to let him paint her eggs before they hatched. Froggy quickly ran to the beach. Turtle was there covering her eggs with sand. Ribbit, Ribbit, Froggy called to Turtle. It's almost Easter. May I paint your eggs? Oh, what do you think she's gonna? You think she's gonna let her paint her eggs? Keep quiet, Turtle warned. Can't you see I'm trying to hide them? If you were to paint them, every bird in the forest would see my eggs and eat them before the babies could hatch and crawl to the water. Go back to your log and stop bothering me. Froggy walked sadly to his favorite hollow log near the rabbit tree and crawled inside. After a long time of feeling sorry for himself, he fell asleep and had a dream. In the dream, he was an Easter ribbit. Not quite a rabbit, but not a frog either. He was rushing through the high grass to deliver Easter baskets to all the children. The baskets were full of things that Froggy loved: jelly beans, lollipops, flies, tiny fish eggs, seaweed bars, and delicious mosquitoes too. Suddenly, a terrible noise woke Froggy. He opened his eyes and peeked out of the log. The chief Easter bunny had just landed in a helicopter. He was carrying armfuls of lists of all the children who needed Easter presents. Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants came running out to greet him. You are doing a wonderful job, said the chief, but we need more helpers. Can you handle an extra load of deliveries? Oh dear, said Mrs. Rabbit, we don't have enough bunnies to deliver the baskets. Flossie and Fernie caught colds last night, and I'm afraid they are running fevers. And Herbert and Henry hurt their feet squeezing under a fence. They can't run until next week. What will we do? Advertise, said the chief Easter bunny. Call Mrs. Duck's employment agency. She can fly over the woods and drop ads for all the positions tonight. Mrs. Duck's a quack, but she may be able to help us. All right, said Mrs. Rabbit. We'll do our best. Mrs. Duck was sound asleep when Mrs. Rabbit called her, but she woke up and wrote the ad anyway. Unfortunately, Mrs. Duck was very nearsighted and didn't see her spelling mistake. Instead of writing an ad for an Easter rabbit, she had written an ad for an Easter ribbit. One of the ads landed on Froggy's log. Froggy saw it, and as soon as he woke up the next morning, "An Easter ribbit," said Froggy. "That's me." It was his dream come true. Quickly, he wrote down Mrs. Duck's address and ran to the employment office. Although she couldn't see well, Mrs. Duck suspected that she was looking at a frog. Nevertheless, Froggy was the only client who had come into her office for a long time, and there wasn't a rabbit in sight. Mrs. Duck ran to her storage room and cut out a big pair of paper bunny ears. These just like my bunny ears. She tied them on Froggy's head. Then Mrs. Duck pasted a big cotton ball on Froggy to make a rabbit's tail. Froggy was divinely happy. He ran to Mrs. Rabbit's tree right away. Look, he's ready to go. He's ready to help out. Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants were working feverishly to color new eggs and fill new baskets. Glancing quickly at Froggy's big floppy ears, Mrs. Rabbit didn't notice that he was an Easter ribbit and not an Easter rabbit.
She pointed to a tall tower of Easter baskets outside the back door and told Froggy to start his deliveries. Froggy looked up at the baskets. "Ribbit," he gasped. "I'll never be able to deliver all of these by Easter." I wonder what he's going to do. There was only one thing to do. Quickly he hopped down to the pond, ribbiting as loudly as he could. Froggy called for all of his friends and relatives to come and help him. Soon a crowd of frogs of all shapes and sizes leapfrogged to pick up the baskets stacked behind Mrs. Rabbit's tree.
Look, all of his friends are going to help him.
And if you had been anywhere near Froggy's log at the crack of dawn on Easter morning, you would have seen them marching through the meadow to deliver the Easter baskets to the children. And at the head of the parade was Froggy
Ribbiting a happy song. And there you go. And that's the end. And that's how Froggy helped the Easter Bunny out, by being the Easter Ribbit. Just like I'm the Easter Ribbit right now too, wearing that. But right now I wanted to also show you this frog that I made right here. And I think this is a frog that you can make at home too, because all it is one big green circle. See? And it's two smaller green circles right here that made the eyes. And then I put even a smaller white circle inside the green circle. And then I gave him some eyeballs. You gotta have some eyeballs, right? Gotta have eyeballs. And he's got eyeballs too. And his mouth, believe it or not, this was a circle too. This was a red circle, and I cut it in half and put half of a red circle on here for his mouth. And I thought maybe this is something you could do at home. It's just a lot of circles. You just have to draw a lot of circles and then cut your circles out to make your frog. And what kind of frog does he look like? You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog, that's who this reminds me of. And I thought that would be something that you could do too. Now remember where's my log? I lost my log. Here it is. Here. Remember my log with the speckled frogs on there? I am going to, there it is. These came off some frogs that I found. I found some frogs and I printed them and I cut some of them out. Now these frogs don't have speckles on them, so Mrs. Mecker added some speckles on the frogs when I put them on the log. And you know what my log is? You know what my log is. My log is a paper towel roll. That's what my log is. And I put tape on the back after I cut out my frogs to put them on the log. See? That's how I put my frogs on the log. Maybe that's something you can do too, is get some frogs and put some tape on them and put them on the log, and you can sing that song too. I think you can. That's right. All right, we can't go anywhere without you checking out. Yep, there they are. They're still there. They're still climbing around here. Let me get them as close as I can. Boy, do you see? I see some. They are on the walls. They are on the top of the jar. Here's one back here. What is he doing? Yeah, there's a little bit of a glare. I'm trying to get it as close as I can so you can see it better. And here's its food. It's on the bottom that they keep eating. And they are spinning some threads everywhere. I don't know if you can see them, but there's like some silky threads that they keep spinning, these caterpillars. Looks like they are working on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's two right there. They're together. You think they're trying to make their way down to the food so they can eat some more? I think they might be. They're trying to get to that food. Okay. And there's some too. We're going to keep looking at our caterpillars and see what happens to them. But right now, that's what they look like. Looks like they're just crawling around, and I think they're just going to eat and eat and eat until they get bigger and bigger and bigger. Anyway, all right, so we'll show you again them next time too. And be looking for more stuff from Mrs. Mecker too, okay? I hope you have a good day. Ribbit, 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 ribbit.